Hello, dear listeners. This is International Radio News. Presenting the news from the studio. In the studio, Aida Mamadova. First, let's have a look at the headlines. The Azerbaijan state has always duly valued the heroism of its sons and daughters. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev. The next basis claims by the President of France against Azerbaijan and provocative statements distorting real facts are unacceptable. Press Secretary of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ayhan Hajizadeh. Foreign media widely covered the statements made by President Ilham Aliyev during his meeting with the family members of the crew who perished in the Azal plane crash, as well as the surviving flight attendants. Our positions in the Lachen direction have come under fire once again. And now with more details. The Azerbaijan state has always duly valued the work and heroism of its sons and daughters. This time, the heroism of the crew members was also duly recognized. These words were spoken by President Ilham Aliyev during his meeting with the family members of the crew who perished in the plane crash and the surviving flight attendants. The head of state emphasized, 3 members of the crew were posthumously awarded the high title of National Hero, and the 2 surviving crew members were also presented with high state awards. This may be a small consolation for the families who lost their loved ones, but it's a manifestation of the Azerbaijani state's attitude towards its citizens. Mr. Aliyev mentioned, I can confidently say that the blame for the deaths of Azerbaijani citizens in this crash lies with the representatives of the Russian Federation. We demand justice, we demand the punishment of the guilty, we demand complete transparency and humane treatment. These words were also spoken by President Ilham Aliyev during his meeting with the families of the deceased crew members and the surviving flight attendants. The head of state noted that the process of decoding the black boxes is ongoing, adding, I'm confident that we will learn the initial results soon, and everything will fall into place. The entire picture of the tragedy will become clearer. Naturally, this will be an important step in thoroughly investigating the tragedy and ensuring that those responsible are punished. The next basis claims by the President of France against Azerbaijan and provocative statements distorting real facts are unacceptable. This was stated by the Press Secretary of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ayhan Hajizadeh, in response to media questions about accusations voiced during the ambassadors' conference. He noticed that France, which portrays itself as a defender of international law, has never criticized the blatant violations of international law by Armenia against Azerbaijan, including policies of ethnic cleansing, massacres, and crimes against humanity. We would like to remind France once again that Azerbaijan's just and fair war, conducted in accordance with international law, was solely aimed at ending Armenia's occupation. On January 6 at approximately 14:10, units of the Armenian armed forces once again opened fire with small arms from positions in the Gurush region's Dig direction towards the positions of our armed forces in the Zabuk settlement of Lachen district. This information was provided by the Minister of Defense's press service. Turkish media has widely covered the statements made by President Ilham Aliyev during his meeting with the family members of the crew who perished in the Azal plane crash, as well as the surviving flight attendants. Media outlets from the brotherly country quoted Azerbaijan's leader as saying that Russian representatives were responsible for the deaths of Azerbaijani citizens. They also highlighted President Aliyev's demand for justice and punishment for all those directly connected to the tragedy. It was emphasized that Azerbaijan is demanding complete transparency and humane treatment in relation to the crash. Reports also mentioned that the black boxes of the Embraer 190 have been sent to Brazil, facilitating an objective investigation into the crash that claimed the lives of 38 passengers on the Baku-Grozny flight. Ukraine's reputable media outlets also extensively covered the remarks of Azerbaijan President Ilham Aliyev during his meeting with the families of the deceased crew members and the surviving flight attendants. Numerous articles and news portals in Ukraine reported on the official position of Baku regarding the crash of the Azal plane near Aktau. The report cited the Azerbaijani leader, stating that responsibility for the deaths of Azerbaijani citizens lies with the Russian side. Azerbaijan is demanding justice and punishment of the guilty. The articles highlighted President Aliyev's comments that the decoding of the black boxes is currently underway and that preliminary results are expected soon, ensuring that everything will fall into place. Thank you for listening to us, and goodbye.